So the President of the United States cannot be charged with mishandling classified documents because he doesn't have the mental capacity. He's diminished. And the President of the United States of America calls an emergency evening news conference to let the American people know, hey, this is bullcrap, in which he tells the world that the President of Mexico decided to open the gates in Gaza to let humanitarian aid in. What's going on, guys? Make it electric. It is Sunday, the 11th of February, 2024. What a week it has been. Twilight Zone-ish. You know, these are not the thoughts of a conspiracy theorist. This is the Twilight Zone that we're living in. As always, the first link below will take you over to the Patreon post. Let's just jump into what happened this week. By the way, it's 42 degrees on this balmy night here in St. Louis. We had, I guess, is it Cinco de Mayo or Mardi Gras or whatever happened yesterday? A bunch of people shot, a bunch of people stabbed. You know, people come down, tear up Sioux Lord, whatever. Scanners are still going crazy. Anyway, Brazil declares state of emergency due to surge in dengue fever. What's dengue fever? I think I remember that from a House episode. Is that what's going on? Now, did you see Wolf Blitzer? Look at this. Watch Wolf Blitzer's face here. I'm trying to get the time right. Just focus on Wolf Blitzer's face right here. What is happening, Wolf? I don't know. I mean, he is struggling. Does he have the dengue? I don't know. It's my speculation. King Charles diagnosed with cancer. Cover story or caused by something, or just, I don't know. Strange things going on. Harvard renews COVID-19 vaccine mandate, joining 96 other schools to be advised mandates going back to... That's a new article, Feb 9, 2024 from Zero Hedge. Bill Gates has something he wants to say to us all. Let's listen carefully.
Making the mRNA is really easy and really cheap, and that's the magic of this thing. But there's no doubt in the next 5 years, we can... we just need to mess around. There's a lot of lipid nanoparticles, and some are very self-assembling. There's no inherent reason it's not thermostable, it's not cheap, and it's not scalable. And so, as over the 5 years, we fix that part of it, mature it, which is very typical, we'll be able to build factories worldwide that can make $2 vaccines with even less lead time than we've had to have here during this pandemic.
This is not conspiracy theory. Blaze Media says Trump likely won the 2020... Oh, come on now. Shifting gears here. You can't say things like that. Appeals court denies Donald Trump's claim he is immune from prosecution in federal... Okay, so they're basically saying he can be prosecuted. Meanwhile, speaking of insurrection, look at this. Angry leftists threaten to go after conservatives in their homes and churches if GOP wins 2024. FBI, you want to start making lists of people? Or that only accounts for the other side, right? Let's see here. Biden challenger. Here we go. Special counsel report affirms Biden cannot continue to serve. This is if people don't know what, let's just CNN. Listen to the CNN report.
But I think there is also a potentially very damaging political headline that we really need to take a beat to talk about as well. And that is, simply put, that the president is an elderly man with a bad memory. If you look through the report, and I'm just still going through every page of this, but if you go through it, there is a detailed explanation here for why the special counsel's office decided not to bring criminal charges against the president, and at various junctures the report mentions the president's memory and memory issues being a factor. For example, it says the president's memory was significantly limited both during his recorded interviews with the ghostwriter that Evan was talking about in 2017 and in his interview with our office in 2023. It also makes a reference at another point in the report, Mr. Biden's limited precision and recall during his interviews, again, with the ghostwriter and with the special counsel's office.
You have to keep in mind, we're talking about the current president of the United States of America. He immediately called a press conference that evening that nobody even knew was coming, having like 7 or 8 o'clock at night, in which he says the Egyptian leader, president of Mexico. Listen to this.
That the conduct...
He wants you to know that he's mentally there is what this press conference was supposed to be about, right?
Of the response in Gaza, in the Gaza Strip, has been over the top. I think that, as you know,
I'm confused now.
Initially, the president of Mexico, Sisi, did not want to open up the gate to allow humanitarian.
You don't want to. I've always been respectful of my elders. You don't want to laugh at an old person having. I'm drawn here. I don't know that it applies here, does it? And I got one more here. There's some other bambles he's had in the past week. He's having conversations with the French president who died in 1996.
What they call a G7 meeting, all the NATO leaders.
He doesn't.
It was in the south of England. And I sat down and I said, America's back. And Mitterrand from France looked at me and said,
this is the current president of the United States of America, the man with his finger on the nuclear launch codes. Yeah, I think we should talk about this. Anyway, over to financial news. How made U.S. stock indexes fared on the Friday? Look at it. He's at the top of the financial report here. Friday, the Dow Jones fell 54, but for the week, the Dow was up 17. Pretty flat week for the Dow, although it is still holding well above 38,000, 38,671 where the Dow closed. But a link to that. U.S. public debt unsustainable, says, oh, come on now. Not like I didn't tell you that 15 years ago. Yeah. What do you mean unsustainable? How can this... Have you seen the U.S. debt clock lately? What have you done for me lately? I'll put a link to the debt clock if you want to take a look at it. Oh, the border deal. It's a border deal, but nothing had to do with the border. No money for the border. But look, deal allows 1.5 million illegals per year to come through the border. 2.3. This is the bill that died, right? I'll put a link to this just so you see what was in the proposed bill, and this is the new bill. U.S. Senate advances $95 billion Ukraine and Israel aid bill after failed border deal. So we don't have any money to protect our borders of our own country, but we got billions and billions and billions and billions and billions to keep pushing overseas. You tell me, are we just going to vote? Are we in a position where we're just going to vote the bastards out and make things better? Waste of the day. It's $1 billion in weapons missing in Ukraine. Well, don't worry. We'll give you $10 billion to replace those $1 billion that you lost. No problem. Whistleblower reveals how migrants get free hotels, food, healthcare, tablets, Ubers, and more. Something here from the National Pulse. 800 migrant families being booted from Denver shelters as city nears breaking point. The cities are running out of money that they would normally spend on like the normal homeless people. The homeless problem that we already have has now been, these people have been just thrown completely in the secondary gutter while we take care of all of these people that are just coming here illegally. But now we're running out of money for that. So what's going to happen now? France caves to farmers. Some good news, but not really. Solidarity protests kick off. More and more farmers, they're saying that they're giving in a little bit. I don't know. Shout out to the farmers and all of the people standing up to the governments overseas. Power to the people and death to the New World Order. Back home, U.S. cattle herd at 73-year low as retail beef prices record highs. That from Blacklisted News. Thought that would go along with the last one. Definitely backfiring. Seattle ordinance intended to help app delivery workers is hurting them. They're adding like a $5 fee to all DoorDash and Uber Eats, only to have people stop using their service. And I got one at the bottom, Miscellaneous News. Ford announces billions of dollars in losses in electric vehicle. Oh no. But on the flip side, maybe Ford can donate some of those electric cars that aren't selling very well to help try to offset the damage that the government's doing to the Uber Eats and people up it. But then again, how are you going to charge them? I don't know. Over to New World Order and Police State News. Where I stop and ask you, please share the report. There's a lot of important stuff coming off the top. I don't want to get onto a big rant here, but I got a thing here that says the deep state is in trouble. Tucker's reach beyond blah, blah, blah. Stop calling it the deep state. Don't come at me with deep state anything. The deep state, it's the New World Order is what I'm fighting. I'm not fighting any deep state. That's some shit they made up for half-awake people that don't have the full picture. You think there's some little segment of the government, like this is a TV show, like the Blacklist or something, just a little fragment of people that, no, man. I'm looking at the bigger picture. This deep state shit is just getting on my nerves. Thumbs up if you know what I'm talking about. Thumbs down if you think I'm crazy. The deep state needs to be taken down. It's death to the New World Order, I say. Wake up! ATF preparing rule to regulate private gun sales. Be advised. That's New World Order right there. Government funded build networks to flag misinformation in private messages. Be advised. We already know that our private messages, nothing's private, but here's more. They're gonna just wipe your messages out and all this stuff, and all that stuff Edward Snowden told us about years ago, but everybody seemed to have forgotten about. As if it just stopped. Anyway, I got another one here from the People's Voice. Says Microsoft is going to disable the computers of people who share non-mainstream content. That's kind of far out there, but not really. I haven't really looked into it, but could they do that? Of course they could. If you're using a Microsoft computer, your latest Windows update probably blue screen because you shared some stuff from Alex Jones or whatever, whatever the case might be. Not out of the realm of possibility at all. Canada, that's all on the agenda front. Court rules that calling drag queens groomers does not fall under protected speech. So if you call drag queen groom, yet people can post on TikTok. Look at this. Look at this. Gay dad has his kids, this is some sick shit, appear in his TikTok where they talk to him about,
But remember when he bought us bracelets and we found out they weren't actually bracelets?
Yeah.
To be fair, I didn't know either.
Don't know how many of you know what a cock ring is. That is pure fucking sickness. There's something wrong with people. And he's just putting his kids out there. Dude, this world just needs to back the fuck away from me. I'm telling you right now. Union County advances fluoride ban in the water. How did all this happen? I don't know. Union County's trying to ban fluoride, though. Meanwhile, millions will get fluoridated water added to their tap water. It biggers expansion of controversial scheme. This is over in the UK. Let's see. Millions of Brits get fluoridated water. They're taking away fluoride here, putting it in over there. Why do we need it at all? Because it's good for our teeth. Yeah. Breitbart. Internet rumors proven true. Border bill will allow 8,500 migrants a day. We're over to immigration news, another one on that. You got a Texas sheriff here that's telling you that it's not just about the invasion, it's about the cartels. If there's terrorists coming across the border. The thing here, you want to listen to what he has to say? There's another one over in my favorites. This guy here's a Muslim supermarket employee telling a woman over a British customer that she's wearing the wrong kind of clothes. You'll have to cover her up. You cannot come here at this. Yes, because we seek to enslave our women, so you can't take your... Man, I just want to scream. And I got one at the bottom. Italian deputy PM calls for chemical castration after 7 Egyptian migrants gang rape. Castration? Shoot! Sorry, I had to cut out that last thing I said. Had that because I absolutely can't say that on the internet. What I think we should do with sick bastards who want to rape little girls. I can't say that. I edit that out. We're all thinking the same thing, I bet. Over to World War III news. In test, GPT-4 strangely itchy to launch nuclear war. Oh no! Why would give it that bizarre idea? Terminator 2, the beginning scene, right? Put a link to that. U.S. drone strike kills Iran-backed militia leader in the Baghdad. This is from the BBC. We got Iraq labels U.S. factor of instability after 3 killed in drone attack. We're constantly bombing because we say that they did this and this. Who knows what the real story is. Iran issues a warning to U.S. of possible attacks on 2 cargo ships. We still got the ship activity going on. They're saying it's conducting spy activities. I don't know. How the Houthis could get revenge on the U.S. for airstrikes by cutting a fifth of the world's internet. I think we're talking about cutting underwater fiber cables, maybe. So be advised, enjoy this tool we have to communicate. We won't have it forever. Only solution is total victory. Netanyahu says, I want to kill everybody. Think to that. Ukraine's new commander-in-chief is an unpopular butcher. He's a nice guy, but like that. Ukraine designates U.S.-based manufacturer as international sponsor of war. Looks like something to do with the aerospace field. I didn't read into it. Chuck Schumer says if we don't give money to Ukraine, we're going to be fighting Russia. And if you listen to what this man says here.
We're at a turning point in America.
Yeah.
This bill is crucial, and history will look back on it and say, did America fail itself? Why is it crucial?
Yeah, America did fail
if we
itself.
don't aid walk Putin will walk all over Ukraine. We will lose the war, and we could be fighting in Eastern Europe in a NATO ally in a few years. Americans won't like that.
Do you understand what he's talking about? Retired officers and enlisted members can rejoin active duty to offset personnel shortfalls. Nobody wants to join the military. I wonder why. It would be interesting to see them try to institute a draft. Open border will lead to a terrorist attack. Oh, come on. It's just a conspiracy.
I understand. I'm told that the Chinese are paying $35,000 a head, $50,000 a head to come to the southern border. They're paying the drug cartels this money. The number of Chinese nationals, and they are military-aged men, you're right, up 1,100% year over year. Are they being directed by the Communist Party to come here?
I believe so. I believe so. And I believe we're going to have a terrorist attack 100%. 100%. During my term...
Terrorist attack / Operation Blackjack, false flag. When this thing happens, They have the perfect. Remember in Jericho season 2, they talked about how incompetent the previous administration was and all this. It's never been more perfect than it is right now. I'm telling you, people, prepare. Americans have no idea how bad things really. Here's someone who had a conversation with a Denver police officer at the airport about how many Al Qaeda members they're catching. Take it for what you will. You know, in the past few weeks, there's been several days where I've seen headlines come across where, I used to put out, I'd see something, I'd put out like an Operation Blackjack alert or warning video or something like that. And I think to myself, man, I've said all this already. I mean, how much more of this shit can I say? I know people are tired of hearing it from me. I'm telling you right now, this is exactly what's going to happen. And it's going to be worse, I think. Because it's not just going to be several U.S. cities or several cities around the world. It's probably going to be hundreds of cities all at the same time. When this thing kicks off, you're going to have... I hope people are ready for this, man, because this man. Over to Earth changes in 2012 news. Got the earthquake set up for 6 points and above for the past week. We went to a 6.2 on the 9th. Let's drop it down to the past 2 weeks. We had a 6.2 on the 9th, a 6.2 on the 3rd, 6.5. I heard there was a little bit of a California. Let's see. Let's go past week, drop down to 5. There was one out in California, I know, somewhere. There's been some in New Zealand. So, well, the Earth's not too active. We got an update on the Iceland volcano eruption, cuts off hot water supply. The thousands shooting lava 260 feet in the air. So that's still going on, dies down a little bit, then it starts erupting again, and now it's causing more havoc, cutting off hot water supplies. Over in California, they battled dangerous storms. You got flooding and stuff going on, landslides. There's all kinds of craziness going on in California. We got this going on over in Chile, wildfires. Have you seen this stuff?
Intense forest fires
big fires in Chile.
Populated area of central Chile.
They got some links there. So heart goes out to them. Fire breaks out back here at home. It's Phillips 66 Refinery near Billings, Montana. There you go. This is the video of the fire up at Billings. Let's see here. Big fire going on up there. Canadian MP wants to criminalize speech that endorses fossil fuels. Of course you do. The police state news in the world in their changes. EU bends knee to farmers, drops key provisions in 2040. Climate pulp. I don't think that they're dropping anything. I just think they're they're just trying to get people to simmer down a little bit. But we'll keep an eye on this. Meanwhile, look at this. Food from urban agriculture has carbon footprint 6 times larger than conventional produce, study says. You know what this is about. This is the University of Michigan. They don't like people having their own gardens. They don't like people doing their own thing because you're raising the carbon footprint. We have to control all of the food that you eat so that we can make sure that you're getting all of the vitamins and nutrients that we put in this food. Right? 10 cars, we got a train crash carrying cooking oil. Speaking of cooking, plastic pellets derail 2 land in New York River. Put a link to that. I don't think there was any widespread thing out of that. That happened up in New York. Let's see, 2 dead, 3 injured after small plane crashes in Florida highway. Put a link to that. Little plane went down on the highway. It looks like a jet, maybe, huh? That sucks. Jet propulsion. Speaking of jets. Laboratory in California to lay off 530 workers because of lack of funding. There's no funding for JPL. Meanwhile, a dead European satellite weighing 5,000 pounds will crash back to Earth this month, and experts still don't know where it will land. Over to strange and bizarre news. I got some gems for you this week. Have you heard of this Apple Vision Pro? Apparently, these people walking around with these things on their heads now where they got this, they're just living in an alternate reality. They're just talking and clicking shit while they're walking. This is the future, is what it looks like.
All right, I love you.
That's the one guy walking through. Here's a guy getting out of his car. He's slamming doors and clicking things that aren't there because this is where we're headed, folks. In real life, we got Missouri officers search for home intruder, find squirrel instead. Here's a home search going on here. We gotta search room by room.
We'll just start calling room by room.
Yeah.
Oh, it's right there. It's a squirrel. They can disregard.
Squirrel can be dangerous though.
Tony, you can disregard the help. We got a squirrel in the house.
Look out. Try not to fire any bullets, maybe. They got him trapped for the SWAT team. Speaking of that, maybe they can send them to the SWAT team after they dry off. This is a highlighted women's SWAT team competed in the UAE. Luke Radowski posted this. They come up on the ice bath and I guess you got to swing over here, and they all get stuck, and they all end up dropping in the water, and it's just silliness. I thought it was funny for a long time. East Lansdowne search began for 6 to 8 people unaccounted for shooting. Oh yeah, this guy. I was watching this live the other night. This guy up in he set this house on fire. He shot 2 cops and then was holding some people hostage. I don't know. I didn't follow up. I don't know if they found these people or what. But this house was on fire, and the guy was at the fire department couldn't put the fire out because bullets were flying. So craziness going on up there. Squatters take over 1,200 homes in Atlanta, open illegal strip clubs, and terrorize neighbors. Is this even America? A homeowner is arrested trying to evict squatters from his property. Look what's going on here now. And mom says her kids have been expelled from Christian school. Now tell me your thoughts. Let's see.
Lexi Thomas is a parent at Liberty Christian who wants this ad on another parent's car to stay off campus. That other parent is Michelle Klein. And what she has is an OnlyFans.
Well, it's definitely linked to, explicit content, adult content for sure.
Klein, who goes by Piper Fawn, says OnlyFans is her business and way of life.
My husband and I had this, little wild, behind closed doors lifestyle that we've now decided to share.
But not all parents want what Klein is sharing.
Clearly one of those very cool moms. Minnesota mom sexually abused 2. To be fair, they were 2 15-year-old boys who met this hot chick in a hot tub. Does it make it right? No. But I remember what it was like to be a 15-year-old. I don't know how much abuse was going on. I'm being real with you. Passenger booted from plane after sex toys start buzzing in her suitcase. The whole plane was mortified. She thinks it's funny, crazy. Her suitcase is vibrating. You see about this kind of shit like in movies and comedy shows and stuff, but now this is happening in real life. They kick her off the plane. Flight from hell. You don't want to be on this flight. Husband 63 dies beside his wife. Liters of blood shoot out of his nose and mouth all over the interior of the plane in front of screaming passengers flying from Bangkok to Germany. Now, I don't know if there's just any footage of this. I certainly didn't go look for it. Did he dive to like 500 feet the day before, or Ebola? I don't know what's going on. It's a crazy story. The link to it. FBI, Colorado funeral homeowners abandoned 190 bodies, spent money on cars and crypto. Priorities. People make me sick pulling that. New Hampshire town alarmed due to the opening of a number of diaper spas where adults wear diapers and pretend to be babies. That's all I got from the strange news. Check out my favorites for more news. It's too much this week. What the U.S. sheriffs are being told. Here's another sheriff speaking out about what's coming across the border and whatnot. Something big. Jason A's got some stuff there about beached whales and all kinds of stuff going on. Here's a comparison from China, mass transit, USA mass transit. See, 1 injured Times Square shooting. There's more Joe Biden stuff over there. There's that house fire that was going on. Some good video there if you want to see what I was talking about. Thank you to everybody continuing to put out content. Definitely check my favorites for updated news and information. My shout outs this week are a little bipolar. I want to give a shout out to James Woods for posting something that at least made me laugh, made me smile. This lady doesn't understand what listen to this. Look.
What do you know? That you're a musician.
You're a musician.
But that's why I'm interviewing you today, so I can get to know you.
So I'm a musician.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck that mean? Make magic or something? What is musician?
I think you're confusing that.
Yeah, I'm not a musician.
Very much.
I make music.
You're confused.
I make music. And that's not all I do. I make music, I act. I'm a TV star too, a young woman.
It goes on like this for like a whole minute. Shout out to James Woods for making me smile, and then shout out for bringing me back to reality.
It's become clear that people in this country and globally have been steamrolled. It is also clear that it has been coordinated globally. It is also clear that it has been integrated, not just over 6 months, not just over 2.5 years, but it has been planned over decades.
People want to talk about the deep state here in America. You're so limited in your thinking. This is global. This is the fucking new world order is what this is. That's what he's talking about.
The changes to legislation in this country were done so that they could control doctors and people.
This is control of planet Earth.
But the people
and everyone on it.
Thanks to people like Dr. Altman and all the presenters here today, thanks to people like Senator Babette and Craig Kelly, we know and we knew that this is all bullshit and that we've been had. But we are going to hound you down, the people that are guilty. We are going to hound you down and hold you accountable, and we will expose your global agenda.
I would like to think that's going to happen. We'll see where we are years from now. That's all I got for this week, guys. If you like the report, please give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. If you think it's bullcrap, you don't trust a word of it, you don't like it, you don't want to see it again, please rate, though. It helps me around. You can also follow me on all my links below. The Twitter, the BitChute, the Gab, the Rumble. You can support me on Patreon or directly with DonorBox. I put a lot into these reports, and I'm here every week to fight the New World Order. The deep state can kiss my ass. That's for amateurs. We're professionals here. We're fighting the fucking New World Order. If you can't take it, get out of here. For everyone else, I love you very much. Thank you for sticking around with me for a few minutes while I give you the news on a Sunday morning. You guys take care. Stay safe. I love you guys so much. You have no idea. I'll see you on the next one.